Welcome to another episode of 2MT98. Um, I'm your host, Ajax, and I'm, of course, my lovely wife, Mrs. Ajax.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm well.
You're just well?
Yeah.
All right. Climate's good, even though summer hasn't been summering really, but,
It was chilly today.
Yeah, a good little dew on you.
I got a good dew on me. It's chilly, though. I stepped outside to go to the grocery. It was like, I wasn't ready. I didn't have no jacket on, nothing.
The summer has not been summering.
All right? Had nice days, though.
We have nice days, but not a nice summer. Like, it's been raining most of the time. I don't know where you guys are from, but
on the East Coast, it's been a little wet.
Yeah. A little on the moist side for the most part. All right. But anyway.
Straighten my hair, boy.
As you know, we're going to be discussing topics of whatever. It could be current events. It could be from a post, a thread, or anything. But let's go.
So, oh my God, baby, you don't be having no enthusiasm.
What do you mean? I gotta find out what the topic's about. I
know you just like dry self.
All right, so surprise me.
Okay.
We've been going in on them MIT asshole threads on Reddit, so I think we might find a little something to discuss today.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not freeing my time for my newly single friends? Okay, I'm in my early 40s and I've been the perpetual single friend for years. I have a small group of close friends, and between them, some are single and some are not. Because I haven't had long-term relationships for some time, I'm the available friend. So I'm the one they come to when the relationship fails, as well as I'm always there for them on the phone, texting, available to meet up so they aren't lonely. Girl, you better than me. That's a whole fact. However, over the last 18 months, all of them have been in relationships. Meanwhile, 95% or more of my time has been alone. No one is free to meet me. Receiving a token text from them saying once a week, let's meet up every 3 months or so.
A token text. It's basically basically a little pity. Text. We're keeping you at bay just in case.
No, I don't feel like they're keeping you at bay. I feel like they're just like, oh, I remember I also like
you'll remember the friend.
Yeah, you remember. Oh, I have friends.
You remember the friend, but you send the text. It's kind of like
this is a common occurrence though with women.
Yeah. But go ahead. It happens with dudes too, but in some ways.
Especially the relationship is new and you're in the illusion state and you're in this honeymoon.
Yeah, but she said 18 months though.
That's it takes about 2 years for people to like really.
But you know what's been happening within those 18 months? The ones that have now that are coupled, they'll go out together and leave you excluded so that you don't have to feel bad.
You mean like they'll go on double dates and stuff?
Right. So they might have went out on their own and then tell you about it.
I mean, it depends on the type of friend you are. Like, I'm sure you have friends who you're just that person. Like, you're that life of the party. And I'm not saying her, like, you don't have a problem getting a guy.
Obviously, she does.
I don't know if she does. Maybe she has standards where she's not meeting. Okay.
All right, go ahead. Finish.
Anyway. Okay. So I've always understood the pressures my friends face from their relationships and have never made demands on their time. But the loneliness has been crippling at times. And I also don't have a family. But the good news is I've embraced it, taking myself off on day trips and holidays. Yes, sis, as you should.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I wouldn't have time for them.
Yeah, but that's after you come. That's after you come to terms.
Like, she came to terms with it a little late. Right. I came to terms with it very early in my life. I told you that. I was in college going to dinner with myself.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have to be something that you come to terms with. It should be just something
that's not true.
Okay, you know what? I don't have anybody tying me down right now. I'm not in a relationship. Everybody's good in their own ways. Let me just not...
Yeah, but not everybody's the same.
Not after a long time you realize, ain't nobody coming.
But everybody's story is different.
All right, but go ahead.
So, good for you. Because I love a little dinner date with myself. 2 friends have become single. And they have started contacting me again almost daily, trying to meet up and fill up their time. But this time, I'm not making myself any more available than I have been for the last 18 months. As I used to feel, to be honest, I'm sick of being their stopgap until they find a new man.
Okay.
But the friends are really struggling, and I feel terrible for not making myself more available. I fear I'm being unnecessarily harsh because I won't adjust my life that I've built for myself to keep them company now that they're single. You are not the asshole.
You're not the asshole.
And you're in your early 40s.
Okay, you're in your early 40s. You're in your vibe right now. You've waited long enough for anybody to have you included in whatever's happening. They haven't. Everybody's been busy and being all booed up. So you finally took it at hand to make something or do something with yourself. And now you're just in that transition. You're how would you say? You're what am I looking for?
I'm not sure. I'm listening to you.
Okay. It's so much. Basically, you're in motion. All right. You're in motion, and that motion feels good. And not having to stress yourself out because of other people's stress. Right? Well, so here we are. Now they're single. Now they're looking for you again. Meanwhile, when they were all booed up, gained all, right? Wow. They'll send you a token text and meet up every 3 months. Meanwhile, they check on you every day when they're single.
But that's normal. That's fine. See, okay, here's the thing. Friendships are a challenging thing to navigate, right? And as you mature, you learn different ways of navigating friendships, because friendships are extremely important to me. They're important to you. They're a very important part of your life. Here's the thing. When you have a strong sense of yourself as a person, it really helps you better navigate friendships. Because what happens is when you don't have like a strong sense of who you are, you easily assimilate to your friends. That means like you really don't know really who you are and what you like and things like that. So you got that one friend that likes to go clubbing, so you're going to go clubbing. You got that one friend that likes to go rock climbing, so you're going to go rock climbing. You got that one friend who's trying to be vegan and so now you're no.
Not necessarily.
No, like
vegan's a bit of a stretch.
To you.
Shit.
So that in lies the problem. So now imagine you don't really have a strong sense of who you are and you have 3 friends, especially 3 friends who have strong personalities. You get you get enveloped into whatever's happening with them. However, I think for her, it took her a while to get where she's at, where she's like, yo, I'm always making myself available for my friends.
So we had like a little TD. We just had to patch up real quick. You all done with your wine?
Yes.
You want some of mine?
Yes.
Damn.
You think
you could have said, babe, I had a good quarter of the bottle by myself.
Wow, you're telling like our business.
What business am I telling? All right. So we were talking about how she might have been relying on the friends.
What I was saying before the technical difficulties is that I think that for a very long time, she never wanted to actually deal with herself. I don't think she wanted to deal with herself and be alone with her thought. And then we got into the whole Microsoft room thing where it's quote unquote the most silent place on earth, allegedly.
Right. And
a lot of people can't manage it. And some of them, they start to go on the brink of going a little crazy, going mad, because like you just, it's too much to be that silent. Like that's an extreme. But I think a lot of people use a lot of different vices and different distractions. And I said, whether that's like drinking wine, whether that's like having sex with random women, whether that's clubbing, whether that's food.
Wait. You're not just going to say that. And then
what?
Why you make it sound just like that? Just having sex with random women. How about women
or
doing?
men? It's like it's not a tit for tat situation.
I
Whatever.
just want to make sure because
Like,
you guys trying to make it sound like just men are doing whorish things.
I'm not. Like whatever you are using to distract you from being able to spend that really raw time with yourself, and everybody has it. That's what I'm saying. And I think she used her friendships to do that. And I think there came a point where she couldn't because they weren't available.
They were all booed up.
They were all booed up. And so that's that time. And I feel like especially as you grow older, right? Going into your 40s and stuff, and I think most of us experience that where we get a time where we have no choice but to
be alone.
Be alone and actually really look in that mirror.
Yeah, and face ourselves
and face the truth.
Right.
And you can't lie to yourself. Now, in that moment, you could be like, fuck it, I'm gonna continue lying, right? And that's where you keep using the distractions.
Mm-hmm.
Or you like, I don't like this, so I'm gonna have to figure out. And it's fucking awful to go through it. It's probably murky, it's disgusting, it's painful, it's crippling, like she said. But she came out to the other side and she was just like, you know what? Okay, she made it to the other side.
She made it to the other side,
so
which is like somebody being put in a hole for like 6 months to a year because they acted up in jail. Now, going back to the Microsoft room we just talked about, if you guys don't know, Microsoft built the quietest room on Earth.
Allegedly.
I mean, they're even giving a cash prize for anybody that could stand to be alone in that room for 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
People have broken within 5 to 10, 15 minutes. The world, I mean, I don't know if it's a world breaking record as of right now.
Yeah.
But somebody spent 59 minutes in there, one more minute into that 1 hour before they got that cash prize and couldn't do it. I think I would fall asleep in there.
No, you wouldn't.
You know, like
babe,
come on. I mean, listen, we know silence could be a killer for a lot of people.
Don't, obviously,
right?
But dude, like, there's gotta be people who are extremely intelligent, extremely knowing. Maybe they even meditate and they do things like, and they're like, oh, I could do it. I could go in and out. It's gonna be a breeze. If it's a challenge that's been put forth, there's a reason it's a challenge that, especially from Microsoft, that means before he even put the challenge, that means he already tested it with some of the world's best meditators. Some of the like.
How much is the cash prize? Was it $1 million, $5 million?
I thought you said it was 10 million, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Anywhere from $1 to $10 million for you to spend 1 hour in that room. But I get it.
That he probably put a couple of psychos in there, a couple of sociopaths, because they're like,
you can't put sociopaths that have voices in their head all day long.
Sociopaths don't have voices in their head.
Some of them do.
They might.
Because there's a voice that's telling you to go do something, and the other one's telling you like, nah, I don't think it's a good idea. But you listen to the bigger voice.
So it's just like, I feel like, again, I don't know the details of the room, and I told you I don't know what they put in the air. I'm a very distrusting person by nature, so I don't really believe that it's just a quiet room in terms of even if it's the most silent. But the point to her is that I think she's finally spent some time with herself because she needed to. And when she did that, she came out the other side.
She came to terms with who she is and what she likes to do and what could fulfill her time or fulfill her time. So she went ahead and did it. At this point now, she doesn't have time for the single friends that didn't have time for her.
No, like but there's people who enjoy being they enjoy their own company.
No, that's fine. But I think that has become a thing where you had no choice and you've come to terms with it. So you learn how to become self-efficient with your own time.
No, like
when I'm sure that naturally, I'm sure there's always going to be an anomaly.
Do you enjoy your own? Okay, let me ask you, do you just enjoy your own company? Like you could go out to dinner with yourself. Like you could just spend a lot of time, which also could be dangerous. Like, do you just enjoy your own company? I've
done that when I was younger. You know, like I was exploring myself and the things that were around me. And I had moved into a new area, so I didn't really know people like that. But even when I started getting to know people, I'm not somebody who's depending on somebody to have a good time or for me to do something. If that was the case, I wouldn't do anything at all. So I did go to the movies by myself.
But do you enjoy spending time by yourself?
Yeah, especially
Like
now
this-
with all the things that are happening. I got
Yeah.
games, I got movies, whatever. Yeah, I could spend the time by myself.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if you don't have like in the games you interact with your friends online. That's not what I'm saying.
No. But even then, I'll play a story mode where it's just
That's what I'm
me. I don't
saying.
have
Like
to
some
have somebody in my
people,
ear.
but some people just don't. Like some people are good. The voices in their head keep them company. Like I'm one of these people where I'm okay by myself. I also love being around my friends and my family.
Yeah, but
and
you also
everybody.
need that respite.
I love it. Like I'm a family person. Like family is the most important thing to me. So that's always number one to me, right? Like I enjoy being around my family. And I enjoy being around my friends too. So like I enjoy it. However, at the same time, I also really also enjoy being by myself. I also enjoy being alone time. I enjoy that. And there are people that can tolerate that. Like it's not a big deal for them to do it, but they don't actually enjoy it. It's just like, okay, I'm not gonna not go on vacation. I'm not gonna, right?
Right.
So that's the difference between somebody who enjoys it. And then there's people who just, no, I need somebody around.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find people like that. And some people are crippled by the fact that they don't have people around them to help them do something that they would actually like to do. I don't know if it's a thing that they would like to share the experience, or they're just afraid to move on their own.
Oh no, it's by the way, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Like sometimes like it's the same feeling.
But you do become crippled if you can't find anybody to be around.
Yeah.
So
you do.
So I understand both sides, of the situation. So with that being said, I don't think you're an asshole for that.
But
they might think you're an asshole because now they need you and you're not available, with them not thinking about the time that they were away and you needed them. So
can we peel back some more layers in terms of friendships though?
Go ahead.
I mean, that's the whole point. Like,
if
we could do this in 5 minutes and just say you ain't the asshole.
No, that's right. But no, I'm just reiterating the situation. It's kind of like you're not the asshole for that. But please, let's talk about friendships.
Talk about friendship expectations. Like, what your friends expect from you.
It all depends. You have different type of friends.
What do you mean?
You can have a friend that's just like you. Listen, we're cool. I'll spend time by myself whenever we get a chance to meet. Especially I'm gonna tell you something. With guys, it's not so much of a I need you.
I need you.
Right? it's like, yo, even with the strong friends, listen, you call them up, you give them a check like every 2 weeks or every week. Yo, you good? Yeah, I'm straight. Blah 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 blah. Cool. And then we'll link up when we link up, right? Men don't hold that grudge against other men, especially we know the grind that we have to go through to make sure that everybody's okay.
Right.
So men don't hold that against men unless you're a little sensitive. There are sensitive ones, but it's okay. That's why I said you have different type of friends. But in most cases, for us dudes, we'll be like, yo, everything all right? Even if we don't hear from each other. But if we hear something about you from like 2 weeks ago, I mean, like after 2 weeks or maybe a month of not hearing from each other, the fact that I heard something about you is not something negative. In our mind, that's kind of like a welfare check.
Okay.
But now if you do hear something, you give a quick call like, yo, everything all right? Yeah, we good. You might have a 5, 10, 15, 30-minute conversation. After that, you guys, the friendship batteries recharged for like, a little while. But again, it's all based on the type of friends that you have. Each friend requires its own type of attention and, how would you say? Attention. We'll leave it at that.
But like, what about the friends that you have that aren't like that require more attention? Who aren't like, how do you deal with, because you've had friendships that that's not enough. Like the periodically checking in.
Yeah.
Like they are like,
well, I did
want your attention.
And I did have friendships like that. And once they got into their feelings about how they were feeling about how they felt like I wasn't doing the same or reciprocating reciprocity.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. Reciprocating?
Reciprocate.
I thought you were saying reciprocity. I thought that's what you were saying.
Oh, you know big words now, reciprocity. Once they felt like I wasn't reciprocating the amount of time that they were putting in, or they felt like they were putting in, they exploded. And this is when I kind of have to not only let them know what's really good, and at the same time slowly put them down until they realize, look, I'm no longer the extension that you're looking for or need. Okay, because yeah, I enjoy the friendship, but if it requires any more than what I have to give to my family, my work, and everything else, then at this point you're demanding too much for me, especially as a guy. So I'll easily back off until it's no longer a thing.
Like the friendship isn't no longer a thing, or like that dependence is no longer a thing?
The friendship is no longer a thing.
You weren't playing.
No, I don't. I can't deal with extremely sensitive men. We all go through our issues, and when we have a sensitive moment, whatever, and we'll be here and I'll be here for you. But the day-to-day sensitive issues, and what you're really doing is tantruming, and what you're really doing is escaping your own issues, and you want me to be there to, give you that shoulder, which I don't mind a day or two, but you want me to forget my life and be there for you. Little dogs, like, go to your mother, like, you know what I mean?
Not your mother.
Go make up with your wife or something. I don't know, whatever it is.
That's a tough one. I mean, obviously, I think it's different for women, where I feel like women have more tolerance for that. I can't speak as a whole for myself. My tolerance is not like, I'm a person that I want to be there for my friends. I want to be present, but I'm not a daily person.
Right.
I'm not the friend that you can call to just shoot the breeze on the phone.
Or do the gossip.
One, I don't, and this is known, with the exception of you, I don't enjoy talking on the phone.
That's true.
That's true. I don't. With the exception of you, like, I don't enjoy, like, and you've checked me a few times, I guess, the way I speak with other people.
You speak with other people. You'll be a little short.
To be very quick. Like, if you call me,
If you could tell her everything that you need to say in 5 words or less, that would work out for her. But if whatever you have to say, if you're not putting the pedal to the metal to say what you gotta say, like, what is it? What? Are you all right? Cool. What? You really have to come with, like, your back all bossed up, really all humped up.
No, you don't.
And for her to feel that energy that you're really, really, really down, and that you need.
No, that's not true. No.
And then she'll be like, "What's up?"
No, see, you do me a disservice.
It's not a disservice, but it's okay though, because listen, a lot of people don't understand them. Hold up.
I'm not rough.
A lot of people don't have the time to sit there and get to somebody else's gossip.
No, it's not even a gossip thing. The thing is, I don't know. I've never enjoyed talking on the phone. It's just not a thing that I enjoy. And, like, you are legit, and you should be honored. Like, you are the exception, where we used to talk, where, like, I don't mind sitting on the phone. We talk about nonsense. But, like, for my, like,
even then, my time is short on the phone. But
yeah, but still, like, if we are talking, if you're just shooting the breeze and you're not saying anything, or you, like,
you're taking too long to get to the point,
or you need your in or whatever, and I'm, like, very chill, and I'll sit there, but, like, you have to get to the point of what you're saying, or if you start to get repetitive, like, why are we on the phone? Let's get to the point, and then we move on. However, I value my friendships.
Yeah, of course.
If something's wrong with you and you're 7 hours, I will drive there. If you need something, I will find a way to get to you. I not because it's like I want to make sure that you're okay. So in that, I do. I just think some people have strengths in some areas. The phone is not my strength. In person, great. So
Yeah, but even when they're in person, they gotta have to get they gotta have to catch you at the right time.
no, like in person, like especially if it's a friendship,
Yeah.
like a real friendship.
I mean, you'll make that time to meet or
No,
for
like
them.
even if you come and you chill on the couch, we hanging out, I go to your house, whatever, like those are the friendships I enjoy. That we're not in a pretense of being something that we're not. You see what I'm saying? Like I'll roll up with you looking homeless at your house and like we are just like good.
I'll tell you what though, even in friendship, don't just pull up at my house.
No, at this point.
Don't just pull up at my house.
First of all, who is pulling up just randomly?
You remember back in the day?
Who does that though?
Remember back in the day when you were a kid?
As a kid.
Somebody ring the doorbell. Everybody's like, "What the fuck? Who's that? Were you expecting somebody?" No.
No, I feel like when we were like kids.
Yeah, but also our years
up.
of growing up had so much traumatic shit that was happening. At this point, everybody's weary about who's coming at the door at this point unannounced. So
now, yeah, like people don't just randomly visit. And okay, here's the thing. You're talking about like, okay, a time where texting and what is it, like late 90s, things like that. A quick text, yeah, I'm about to come over. I'm about to pull through. You can't just randomly. People's lives are just way too busy and they have too much going on for you. And that's a kid shit for you to roll up at somebody's house. Like when I was 16, I could roll up at my homegirl's house because more than likely it's after school. She's gonna be home.
But even then, she could have been doing homework and the parents could have been mad strict. Like she can't have nobody there. Here you are ringing the bell. And they're not trying to be rude to you.
You learn your friendships and how you hang out with your friends. Like if their parents are those type of parents, you don't just show up. But now I'm saying you don't just pull up. You don't just randomly pull up at people's houses. I don't even do that with my family, and we is as thick as thieves.
Right.
You don't get no thicker. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand. Like if I don't do that for that, why would I just randomly at a friend's house be like, ding dong?
The thing is, the common courtesy time is done. Nobody gives you time. Well, that type of person doesn't give you time to go put on some underwear or put a robe on or whatever. They're just pulling up on you. Now you got to say, hold on. You got to wait at the door.
Yeah. Like, no, first of all, to me, it's not even conceivable that somebody does it. So I don't even know. Because like, it's not.
I'm going to tell you something. There's been times where people done rang the doorbell. And I wasn't expecting nobody. I could see him from a distance. I go back and mind my own business. I wasn't expecting you.
That's nuts. I mean, it's nuts for you to have the audacity.
I go back and mind my business. You ringing that doorbell, you know and think that I should be home, but yeah.
Who's worse? Are we worse for like being like, do you have the audacity to just like, and we're home, to just
I mean, we could take partial blame because sometimes that person might just have an emergency and they just pulled up.
Different.
Yeah, but my thing is you pulled up and you didn't say nothing.
Bro, if you have an emergency, that's an emergency. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but how would you know if you don't answer the door?
Oh, yeah, that's on you. Because I don't know. I like I'm not answering the door, so I don't know.
But what's funny is that if you do something like that, after they leave, I came to your house and rang the doorbell and nobody answered. So which means you could have shot your text before you got here.
Then that's not an emergency. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
oh Lord.
It's not a thing. Like if, God forbid, one of my peoples, right, friends or whatever, or whoever shows up at the door, I'm automatically opening because it's like, and then by the face, you're like, everything is all good. But like, yeah, I just don't expect my peoples to just randomly. And if you show up randomly, that means like, what's going on? It's either urgent. It doesn't have to be an emergency. It's urgent or whatever. I don't know if it's just like a thing that with our generation, but I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. Anyway, back to her.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the asshole. I think you finally grew up. You finally grew up, and good for you. Like, you have to prioritize yourself. It doesn't sound like you have any children. You obviously aren't married. You're not in a relationship. It doesn't sound like you have like family.
Well, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you don't have family, right? Or
Yeah.
or you're not very close with your family. But
She said she has no family.
But we still need people.
Yeah.
Sometimes that peace that you get from being with yourself, especially if you're not with a lot of like-minded friends, because when you have like-minded friends, they respect your peace and you respect their peace. And when you get together, it's just a good time.
It's a blast.
It's amazing. That is a beautiful, that's a beautiful dish. That's not always the case. People are different. But sometimes you get addicted to your peace where you just like, you know what?
Yeah, if you've been in it too long, you get addicted to it.
Be
At
careful.
This point, you distance,
just be careful with that.
You distance yourself away from the people, and then you're creating this thing where it's like at this point, they don't need you and you don't need them.
And you're good. But like you don't want to do that because I'm a believer that as much as I enjoy spending time with myself, I'm very cognizant of how much I love being around the people I love. So like I would always choose that over anything. So I'm aware of that. But if you're new to the game, you might spend time with yourself.
Yeah.
You might get like, oh no, this shit is peaceful. I ain't got to hear this bitch talk about this last breakup. And I'm like, in my mind, you're the problem. And you just like, I love spending time with myself. And then you just completely isolate yourself from your friends. You don't want to do that either. So I think you got to find like
the perfect balance
of setting up appropriate boundaries where you're not a doormat, that you're not at their beck and call. I'm only here for you when you single.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you are there at also your convenience.
So. Yeah, I agree. I mean, again, I would think that's why we're together. I would think that she might be a little bit bitter, but then again, after this conversation, then you understand that. But at this point, her friends now might be a little bit bitter because they're always relying on her to always be there when they need her. So,
but set the tone, sis.
Set the tone. Make sure you create a balance. Everybody should have a balance.
Set the tone. And that's a great thing with friendships. When you set the tone of your friendships, like your friends understand who they're fucking with.
Right.
That's also important. So if you've been a doormat, they know you've been a doormat. That's why they treat you like a doormat. However, when you have the appropriate boundaries, don't call me on no bullshit.
You know how when you have a parent or a family member or somebody in the street that you fear just a little bit?
Just a little bit?
I think
a parent?
Yeah, you need to fear your friend just a little bit also.
I don't know if you gotta fear your friend.
No, that falls in part of the respect. It's kind of like, I don't know if Maria will like that if I just, pull up at the door, if I just act this way. You know what I mean? So you need that little bit of fear. That fear keeps you in that respect line. No. I'm not saying fear as far as being scared.
Respectful.
But that respectful fear.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I will respect your shit too. You already know I'm not that person. You don't have to guess what I'm thinking. I am not that person. I don't play passive aggressive games. I don't like that shit. And other people do, and that's cool. You'll figure it out. Like me, it's almost like I gotta get it out. And I'd be like, babe, would I be like, no.
Don't do it.
No. But that's not limited to,
how you gonna ask me and then stop me from doing that?
That is everyone. Okay. And like the hardest, the most difficult. So if I can do my parents as a Caribbean child.
Okay.
My parents, like being able to express myself thoroughly. And as Caribbean people, they don't do that.
Where you from, girl?
Haiti.
Oh, shit. I got me a Haitian girl.
And like it's just not a thing. You just don't express your thoughts and feel like your true thoughts and feelings, not on some bullshit stuff, like your true raw shit. Or you don't check your parents. You just don't, even as an adult. And I am that person, but not in a disrespectful way, in a completely respectful way. I'm not a rowdy person. I'm a very calm, chill person. However, I will tell you exactly how I feel. Now, it takes people aback, especially our parents' generation, because they're not used to it.
Right.
And so I'm gonna tell you something. The hardest would be my mom and dad for me to have
A
been able to
conversation.
yeah. So let me tell you something. If I could do that, and that is the mountain peak. Is that Mount Everest? Is that yeah. That's Mount Everest. So you have to understand that anybody else can get it. There's a whole fact. My parents are the anybody can get it. So if I could do my parents, which was extremely hard, but extremely respectful, extremely, because I love and respect nobody, especially, my parents, in the most respectful way you can imagine.
Of having that conversation.
Of having that
boundaries.
I just need people to know that. The most respectful way, but not timid and like cowering, but just like, hey, Mom, listen, this is how I feel about the situation.
This is who I am.
Dad, listen, I understand you feel that way, but like, which you don't, in the most respectful way. And I never disrespect people because I don't like disrespect. I never disrespect people, but I will tell you how I feel, and I'll tell you the truth in a respectful way. So that, anybody else after that, I assure you. So in the poll of it, you think my friends don't know? Went to a tangent.
I'll tell you what, you better watch your tone over here. We'll just have that for another conversation.
I can't deal with you.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think all points have been touched. Right?
I know we went on a whole tangent. You're not the asshole.
You're not the asshole, and whatever. But listen, please leave us a comment of what part you feel most compelled to talk about. What bothered you the most? What was most interesting? If you have a topic that you would like for us to tackle, or you would like our opinion, please let us know. Yeah. So thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
2MT98.